Hi, what's up, everyone from Rant Nerds? Welcome to another Ram's Rant. This time we're talking about the Microsoft, well, Xbox really, E3 conference. I've just finished watching. You can tell it's late at night because it's just nearly midnight here in the UK, because they are so many hours behind us. Definitely a different audience to the EA conference. A lot more whooping and cheering. I'm guessing there's probably a lot more people in there sort of egging the audience on than there were in the E3 conference. It felt less cool. It felt a lot more American TV audience style-y. Way too many games in it. I mean, wow, too many games. I literally lost track of them. There was just so many. I was getting quite overloaded by them towards the end. It's like, seriously, just no more. When we spend like 30 seconds showing us a game, it's like, just don't bother. Just move on, please. Way too many games. But anyway, moving on. So let's talk about what they announced. So, obviously, as expected, they announced the new Xbox, the Xbox One X. Funny name. Well, so basically, what Xbox they finally have got to a sort of semi-decent graphical level. It's almost sort of getting towards sort of PC level really now. Sorry, shameless dig. But yeah, it looks quite meaty, it looks quite chunky, powerful beast. The looks of it, the actual physical looks, I thought, when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's a PS2. The sort of style, sort of like the big rectangular box up a little rectangular box. I immediately thought, oh, it's a PS2. Which is a bit weird, to be honest, but I'm sure designers will learn. PS2 was long enough ago, people probably don't remember it anyway. So I want to run through the games really quickly because there's so many of them. I'm not going to spend 2 hours going through them all like they did, and some of the games I can quite quickly breeze over. They started off with Forza 7 Motorsport. The amount thing I noticed about it, they're going on. They spent the whole conference pretty much gushing how great the Xbox One X is going to be. Got a bit on my nerves towards the end, to be honest with it. And I must admit, when I first watched this sort of stuff, the pre-render stuff looked really pretty in Forza 7 Motorsport. But the actual in-game car stuff, I thought actually didn't look that great, to be honest. I actually thought it looked quite flat, graphic-wise. It looked quite. That's the outside. The row effects look really good. The outside sort of shots were really good, but the in-car stuff didn't look that great. Another great irony, they decided they're going to announce a car here, a new Porsche here. And as I was expecting from a new Porsche announcement, it looked just like a 911. And it was a 911, and just like any other 911, except it's got a body kit, and it's called the Porsche GT2 RS. But yeah, if you want a power car that looks like a 911 with a crappy body kit on it, then that's the car for you. And yeah, it's been announced at a game conference, which is, I'm not sure quite what Porsche are thinking. Bit weird. Are they now going to announce the next, Gran Turismo at the next big car show? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. What? Possibly. Who knows? Then we got on stuff that I really look forward to. So the first one was Metro Exodus. Now, I'm a big fan of the Metro series. I've let's played on the YouTube Metro. I forgot the name of it. Metro Last Light. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, the second one I've let's play on YouTube. I've actually played through the first one anyway. I've played that first. I've got the Redux version. I need to actually sit and go through, and I might record that for YouTube as well. But yeah, I love the Metro game, and seeing Metro Exodus. It looked really good. I mean, at moments I had my heart in my throat watching the trailer. I had my heart in my throat thinking, God, what's going to happen? It still had the atmosphere when they took off the gas, when she was outside and took off the gas mask and saw the world around it. It was like, wow, that's pretty incredible. It looked beautiful. It looked amazing. It looked so lovely and light and luscious. For a game that's in a nuclear winter, get the feeling that it's sort of like further on the outreach maybe someone, because it doesn't look as devastated as the previous Metro games up the surface has looked. But yeah, it definitely looked pretty darn spectacular. So really look forward to that. They announced a new Assassin's Creed game called Assassin's Creed Origin, set in ancient Egypt. It's an area we don't see a lot of. And that looked pretty beautiful as well. It showed some in-game footage and looked good. You can tell it's a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft tends to swap all their ideas from their games, and indeed they seem to have took the owl mechanic from Primal and put it from Far Cry Primal, put it straight into Assassin's Creed, and you fly an eagle without tagging your enemies. It's like, oh, I've seen that before. Forgive me, I'm having to keep referring to my notes because there's so much stuff on here. I had to just write everything down. They moved on to a few exclusives, one called Player Unknown Battlegrounds, where you basically start, there's 100 players and you have to fight down to one. It looked kind of, I thought it looked quite cool actually, to be honest. I thought it looked quite cool. They also had this other one, next one called Deep Rock Galactus. Very cartoony graphics, again, looks really fun actually. Looks like a load of drawers fighting through cartoon style caverns. I thought it looked quite neat actually. Made me think of PS1 era graphics, but deliberately meant to look like PS1 era graphics. All the, the guns and stuff very hexagonal. There's a theme you'll see as we go through. There's a lot of games looking for the more retro-y look or the more cartoony look. I noticed that quite a lot of games did that. State of Decay 2 then came next. Just another survival zombie game. I'm getting a bit of zombie fatigue. I know I actually put a rant up only yesterday about Walking Dead Season 3, but I'm getting a little bit bored of zombie games. There's just so many of them out there. But this one, you set up like build a base and you get resources and you can expand it and so forth. I thought it looks like an interesting idea. I'm sure there was an indie game that did it. I think it was called Project Zomboid. They did a very similar thing where you have a base and you send people out to explore. I think it was 2D, but I'm sure it's definitely been another game that done something very similar. Then another cartoony graphics game where the last person surviving wins the tournament, called the Darwin Project. Again, very similar to similar to a Player Unknown Battleground, to be honest, similar thing. I found it was hard to tell the difference. Then one of the first their big announcements was Minecraft. So Microsoft took out Minecraft, Notch sold out to them. That's probably a bit unfair, but yeah, come on, Notch, why? But he's gone with Microsoft took it over, and I'm very concerned that Minecraft is in the hands of Microsoft, what they're going to do to it. We've now introduced a community marketplace, and now introducing crossplay. People from all different servers can join into one server, which I thought you could before. I thought you could join into one server, but I might be completely wrong on that. But obviously you can't, because they've announced that there's something new. You're still going to have community one server, which is cool. They're going to have a 4K update where they're going to improve the graphics. And actually, it did look quite spectacular, but as long as they realise the whole joy of Minecraft is that it is quite simple, and it is quite, you're just in a world which is very blocky, and you go around, you can build things because it's blocky, it can render really well, as long as they don't upgrade things graphically too much to prevent that happening. But it didn't look like they did. It looked like they've saw the stuff they've made prettier, they saw the more lighting effects, the overall world looked a lot prettier, rather than so much the actual blocks and stuff you do. It did look quite spectacular, if I'm honest. Then we start going on to another lot of retro games. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I was really impressed actually, because I was watching it. I'm watching these anime characters and having a fight in this sort of 2D, very retro style, something you could expect to see on sort of PS2 era consoles. And I thought, that looks like Dragon Ball Z. I've never seen Dragon Ball Z ever in my life. I don't know what made me think of it. It's Dragon Ball Z. I don't know what made me think of it, and I was right. I was amazed. I did this quite a lot. I was surprised myself so many times when I was watching this conference that I was like, oh yeah, that looks like one of those games. And oh, I'm right. I'm not trying to brag and show how well I'm into games, but I was just surprised myself, to be honest. Then into a MMO called Black Desert Fantasy Games. It's got giants in it, but it's MMO, so I won't be touching that. I won't be playing that. The last night now, 2D graphics again. Weird. I was saying earlier, it's weird how many retro style games are on the new enhanced Xbox. Found that very, very bizarre. But it looked kind of cool. Then we had the Artful Escape. Again, another interesting graphical style. Made me think of, I'm trying to think of the proper name for it, where you just get little cardboard cutouts of people, and they'd be jointed where the legs are, where the hips are, and you could animate by just moving around. Because they're jointed, you could sort of angle them and so forth. A bit like Monty Python used to do in the sketches. and the sort of art style made me think of that. Oh, so but I don't know if you heard any of that, but someone just had a motorbike just backfired. I looked at it and I thought, well, that looks quite weird. Very psychedelic. He plays the guitar a lot, and there's some very, like, this game is made on drugs themes for it, but it looked interesting. There was Code Vein, which is just a Japanese hack and slash game. Unfortunately, I didn't really pick much more up to that. This is when I was starting to get game fatigue, to be honest, at this point. I was starting to, games are sort of starting to go, right, just another one of those, just another one of those. I was really starting to lose my will to live. Probably just felt it's quite late in the evening now. We then saw Sea of Thieves. This is another sort of one where they got actually people involved with properly demonstrating it. The presentations I thought was actually really well done, quite funny. It was breaking the fourth wall a lot of ways, talking about it, really quite neat. You have a group of, it looks like 4 players in co-op. You have a ship, you can sail ship around, you can loot like wrecks, you can then go off to islands and solve riddles to find treasure. You can get a fight with other player controlled ships and have fights with them. Some neat graphical things in it. This guy comes over to the land and he gets a document, he holds the document up. The document has the clues to it, and he holds up in his hands. You can walk up to and read it. I was quite impressed by that. It's not often, I love those sort of graphical things where they show you where, so that usually most games, like a screen or something, you'd have to go and click and see. We're now getting to a stage now where we don't have to do that. You know, many old games, if he held a paper up, you go over to it and you might activate it and then you get it on the screen to read it. But no, you can just walk up to it and read it. That was quite neat. I just think it's a bit of PvP in it. So that was actually looked quite cool. But being, again, an online game, it's not something that I'll probably touch. Then we've got Tacoma, which was a very weird looking game set in space. It looks like, I'm guessing, like an exploration game. It's not a world premiere, but it's not one I've heard of before. Something I'll have to look into more further on. Super Lucky's Tale. This is a platformer, clearly for kids. But hey, there needs to be some kid game on the console, and there seems to be a bit of a lack of them. You play as a fox. I imagine it's incredibly hard unless you're 3 years old, in which case you'll breeze through it no problem at all. Cuphead, I have no idea what this game is about. It just looks like really early cartoons in the 30s, and I have no clue what the game is about at all. Crackdown 3 restarts with a very enthusiastic man, really telling us we want to destroy things, and for what I said, a Crackdown series, it doesn't get really crazy. But mainly a third-person shooter where you throw cars at people. Look quite interesting, quite good. Also, they started this massive trade of lots of little games, and I was like keeping track of which ones they're all there and making notes of them all. I was like, I can't write quicker than they're showing it, so I missed pretty much most of those. One did stand out to me, was called Observer, and it made me instantly think of like some sort of horror game. It looked like sort of like almost like Soma style horror game. That instantly stood out to me, so I'm gonna have to look that up a little bit more because that looked interesting. We then got onto one called Ashen. Lots of spiders there. Looks very dark. Look like someone to do the light. I'm guessing perhaps light it's safe and then dark it's not. Very stylized as well. Looked quite nice. We then got onto an adventure game. Now I was, again, there's no one games I was like, oh, I recognise that. This girl seeing her smoking cigarettes, I thought, this looks like just like Life is Strange. And what it is, and you know what it is? It's Life is Strange Before the Storm. So I'm really excited. I love Life. I played Life is Strange, I think beginning part of this year or was it end of last year? No, I'm pretty sure it's beginning part of this year. Really enjoyed it. So can't wait to play that again and play another Life is Strange game again. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a day one purchase. New Middle-earth game, Shadow of War. This is one of the more games where you feature a bit more of a presentation. Expands on the other game. I've got it installed, I haven't played it yet. It's sat there on my games just to sit down and play. I've seen it being played by some friends and family, and they were playing it, and it did look really good. So I'm looking forward to hitting it as well. Just so you can recruit like whole armies of orcs rather than nobbits, and you can take assault fortresses. It looks quite chimerical. The intro we saw looked very funny. At some point when the main character gets attacked by sort of orc that's hunted him down across Mordor. I don't know if that was planned for the demo or just happened, they ran with it. I would like to think the latter rather than the former, but who knows. Then we've got an interesting one, Ori and the Live Forest, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Again, I've got Ori and the Blind Forest, which I've not actually played yet. I don't know whether you get the live pianist in the collector's edition or not. He was present at the conference, and he did a really nice job of keeping the music in time with the game. I don't know how much practice he's done, but he's clearly done quite a lot. He did quite well. They went on about some features that are going to be announcing. They talked about the backwards compatibility initiative, how they're going to make more games backwards compatible. I think they're a little bit behind the times there. A lot of companies like Sony have hit this already and started making backwards compatible games. They do feel a bit behind the times. And they went on about Xbox Enhance, how some players are going to enhance their games at Xbox. The new Xbox One X. Oh, that's a stupid name. Xbox One X. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. Stupid name. I'm sorry, Marcus, it just is. But you did call the next Xbox One because you can't count. In fact, you can't count forever. You had the Xbox 360, because obviously it's 359 iterations from the first one. So, more advanced, enhanced games. Cool, fair enough. And then we got on to probably the big announcement. Very surprising. I don't know how much Microsoft paid EA for this, because EA briefly mentioned it. They showed like a little clip of it in their conference, and yet Microsoft shows the whole damn thing, and that is Anthem. It is the new BioWare game, and I'm a latecomer to BioWare series. I got onto BioWare with Mass Effect. I need to go back and play some of their previous games, but I was a latecomer to BioWare, and I heard good things about them, but I never really got onto them. But I've got lots of BioWare games sat there, I just haven't actually sat down and played yet, and I'm going to definitely be getting into BioWare games more. It looks like part sci-fi, part fantasy, where players are, you take a role of somebody who's in, they're sort of like behind this war, and you can go outside, you get hired people to go outside the war and fight these weird mutiny creatures. Looks really interesting. You have these exosuits that enhance your abilities, and you can customize them, and different suits have different abilities. So you've got like really quick ones, or you can have like big heavy duty one which makes you walk really slowly but you can do a lot more damage. The world looks beautiful. It shows it playing co-op and walking around, and at some point they call other players as well. My big question is it co-op only, or can I play it single player? Can I play it single player with some AI companions? Because if it's not, I'm going to be really disappointed, because it looks like a beautiful world to explore, but I appreciate some games being co-op, but when it starts you start excluding people from a world, from a game, for no real good reasons. No reason why this fantasy sci-fi RPG couldn't not be single player. I'm sure being BioWare it will be, but I'm a little bit concerned that that's the case. That was pretty much it for the Microsoft conference. So it's now 12:05, so it's 2 minutes to record this. There are a few things that caught my eye. Anthem's definitely caught my eye. I'll have a quick look for my list to see what else caught my eye from here. Metro Exodus is probably the only one that really I watched and thought, God, I really want this game. There are a lot of games on there that looked interesting. Tacoma looks interesting to me. It looks like my sort of thing. Life is Strange, Before the Storm, that's something that I'm definitely going to be picking up. So some games in there which I looked at and thought, that looks actually quite interesting for me. That looks like something I will pick up. So there were some good things to take away from it. So that's the end of my little rant on the conference, my little roundup of what I've seen and what I think. So I'm going to bed now. I'm not staying up for the Bethesda conference because that'll be at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I simply can't hang out that long because I've got to go to work tomorrow. But I'm hoping to watch that before I go tomorrow morning, give that a look, and hopefully I'll get another video up before then. So I'm going to do some more of these videos, but they may be, I don't know if I'll do every single conference out there. I would like to, but I don't know if I will be able to. But I will try and get them up. There will be a delay because A, I'm at work, and B, because of the time delay between here and LA means it will be... Well, actually, that's not true. It won't be a delay for anyone watching this because it will be relative to the person there, so it will still make sense. but it's going to be late before I get in because there's things going to be happening overnight. But yeah, I hope I'll hit the Bethesda conference tomorrow morning. So thank you very much for watching TheSuffolkRam. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you on a future episode. So thank you very much. See you next time.